What's up, everybody? One and Done Sports here. Rahul Lal, Sean Heffron, Finn Hade. Over the next couple weeks, we're going to preview the divisions in the NFL. Today, we're going to start with the AFC West. Start with Rahul. We're going to start with the Chargers.
Yeah. I think that the Chargers have a few things to be excited about. Their O-line got a little bit better this year. Their secondary is still a pretty good secondary. Eric Weddle still, he's aging, yeah, but he's still a star.
They got Verrett too.
They got Verrett. You still have Brandon Flowers. They still got Phillip Rivers. They got weapons.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see Keenan Allen, see what he looks like now. I mean, he came onto the scene and it was kind of unheralded rookie, and he really
diaper den with sophomore slump.
Sophomore slump as a receiver, and it's typical to see.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, Antonio Gates isn't going to be there for the first 4 games.
I mean, but you know what? They were talking about last year, Antonio Gates being kind of stepped over a little bit. Granted, he came out and proved.
Well, I mean, they have that tight end Green, who's but they've wanted to anoint him, but he really hasn't.
I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue. In all honesty, it's only 4 games.
Here's the thing. I mean, you look at Antonio Gates; he still makes so many plays. At his age, he still makes great plays.
Yeah.
But we haven't even talked about the biggest story about the Chargers. I mean, Melvin Gordon. The fact that he fell to them, and the fact that Ryan Matthews, they wanted him to be the Tomlinson heir apparent.
And you know what? He always had the talent to be it, but he never had the longevity.
He was always banged up, and he had fumbling problems. Melvin Gordon. I mean, that size, that speed.
He's going to be a great fit into that offense. He's going to be a great fit right next to Phillip Rivers. I think that.
Well, I mean, it's going to give Phillip Rivers that ability to turn around, hand the ball off, so he's not having to throw everything.
And it's going to balance the offense a lot more than it did before.
All right, let's move to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
What are the Broncos looking like?
I think when you look at the Broncos, you got to go what they've been doing. I mean, they're a team that they're talking about championships every year. The Peyton Manning is suiting up for them. They're talking about championships. I mean, and they've got to as close as you can get without getting over the top. So that, you know what, we had to change things. John Fox at the time was a little upset about that I'm firing. He's a great coach.
You know what? Kubiak though,
Kubiak's the right fit. He's the right fit.
Kubiak's going to make a huge difference for that team. They still have Demarius.
I mean, re-signing him. But when you talk about coaching, you talk about NFL coaching trees. I mean, Mike Shanahan, and you got Gary Kubiak, his disciple. Yeah. And when did they win championships? They won it with John Elway when they had a great quarterback, and they turned to the run game. That's what they have here. Gary Kubiak's zone running scheme. Yep. That's a plug and play. You could put any running back in the backfield. He's going to get 1,000 yards.
And you know what? They have talented running backs too.
They don't even need him. C.J. Anderson's great. Monte Ball is a solid player. So they have the pieces, and I really think that if Peyton can have his ego, I mean, he already shaved $4 million off of his contract. Yeah. If he can say, "Look, I'm not going to throw the ball 50 times a game. I'm not going to have 50 touchdowns, this year, but we're going to win, and we're going to win when it matters."
When it matters, who knows how to be efficient as far as the passing offense? Kubiak is that guy to be able to make it.
I think that's a good fit, and then on the defensive side, Shane Ray. You're plugging in Von Miller next to with Shane Ray. They added more pass rushing ability.
I mean, we talked about this earlier, but Shane Ray is a guy who really, really dropped. He's a top 10 talent who dropped all the way to mid-20s.
And I know they just, when you look at their offseason, you have to, they lost Ryan Clady again, and it's just like, they have some injuries, but I think overall, everyone's willing to say that the window is closed on the Broncos and Peyton. I think that window is still a little bit open.
I agree.
All right. Kansas City Chiefs. What are you thinking?
The Chiefs, it's one of those things that, they're such a solid team, and they needed so much, you watch those games with them. Their defense is so good, and their offense is so fundamental. But they just need a little spark, and here comes Jeremy Maclin.
Exactly,
Jeremy Maclin.
I think that the biggest thing about the Chiefs is that they've never utilized their passing offense the way that they should.
Well, they couldn't because Dwayne Bowe has always been a B- receiver. Yeah. A receiver did not catch a touchdown last year. Today, this day and age in the passing offense, that blows my mind. I can't understand that. It's not like Alex Smith is a bad quarterback. He's a good, he's proven himself as an above average, around average game manager. They have one of the best backs in Jamal Charles. And having that deep threat of Jeremy Maclin who could just burn.
And also, let's talk about the fact that Jeremy Maclin has experience with Andy Reid.
Exactly,
He's an
Andy Reid guy.
He's gonna be a safety net for Andy Reid, and I think that's gonna be great to be able to open up the offense.
And we forget about. I mean, Travis Kelce. He's
a guy. He's a guy. He's big. He's strong.
He reminds me of Brent Selleck. He's that same
which
kind
is perfect.
Mainly because he's white and he's 80, number 87. But,
yeah,
but he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. He can catch the ball.
He's playing Andy Reid offense.
And you know what? He's a guy who did get a decent amount of yards after the catch too.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how that offense develops.
And I mean, you got Justin Houston coming back, and
well, if they're able to sign him, they still, for whatever reason, have not.
He'll eventually be on that team.
And then you still got Tom Bahali,
D Ford.
Yeah, D Ford. You have a bunch of guys.
Marcus Peters, who they just got in the draft, who's a solid defensive back. I think they're really set.
Maybe the Chiefs can finally get over the edge. And no. All right. Let's see what we got with the Raiders, Rahul. Repping the Raiders hat.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about your boys, man?
You know what? I think that let's temper expectations, but I am really excited for the direction that the Raiders are moving in. It's the first time in a long time that the Raiders have made the right moves. I think that we have 3 potential stars and franchise-level players in Derek Carr, who had a great season last year. He's got all the tools, and he's progressing really quickly. And I think that the offense that he's in is going to be great because you add in a guy like Amari Cooper, who is a very talented Pro Bowl caliber player right off the gate, right off the bat. And I think that's amazing. Khalil Mack, we saw what he could do last year. Granted, he only had 4 sacks, but he was right there with the QB every play.
And they added depth with Curtis Lofton and
Malcolm Smith.
And it was one of those things that, like, the year before, when you looked at their offseason, they traded for Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
They signed James Jones, and you're like, oh, the same old Raiders.
Exactly.
And this year was finally an offseason.
I mean, you add Crabtree to be second wide receiver. I don't think that he's going to be this huge difference maker. But I think that's a nice. That's a good guy.
Awful. So
it's like, you know what? That's a good guy to have as a veteran player who can stand right next. I mean, him and Amari Cooper are 2 different players, and I think that's good. That's good for a versatile QB.
And I love Del Rio. I think Del Rio.
Del Rio's going to have.
He's a solid guy. He's a Raider. He's that kind of mentality.
Let's add in the fact that there are other options, big guys like Clive Walford. Guys like
Michael Rivera.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think Derek Carr is in that situation where you really, when you look at quarterbacks, you can tell about a quarterback's career for the first 2 years. If you look at historically, it's been true, except for Alex Smith. The first 2 years really indicate, and when you talk about Derek Carr as a second-round pick, thrown into a terrible situation, he did about as good as you can ask.
Exactly.
You know
what?
Throwing the ball 50 times a game when he needed to, and then that's impressive.
And you know what? That's gonna give him the chance to really develop, and I think that he has the means moving forward to be able to develop like that.
And I think if we're going to talk about the AFC West as a whole, I think it really is a situation of, depending on how these offseason moves work out, that's going to decide the division. I mean, if Kubiak and the Broncos work out, it's kind of hard to not pick them.
Yeah, but I think that if we're talking about who's going to be the best team in the AFC West, we're going to have to go Broncos. I think it's
the safe pick, but it's one of those rare divisions where you go anything can happen. The Chiefs can
surprise people.
The Chiefs win a lot of games.
Yeah, and the Chargers can easily surprise some people. And if we're talking about brightest future here, I really think that the Raiders have the brightest future in the division.
I think the Raiders are going to win some games too. I think they're going to be a hard. I
think the Raiders are going to surprise some people, and they're going to play that role of. I mean, they've been an easy win for the past few years.
I think late in the season too, they're going to really
I think
find
once they kind of start clicking, I think that they're going to be a tough team.
But I don't think it's a bad bet. I mean, when we talk about Chiefs, Raiders, or all of those guys,
all those teams
they have a potential to win.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's a great up and coming division.
Well. There's the AFC West. So, from everyone here at One and Done Sports, see ya.